From its innovative business platforms to its pioneering regulatory and legal frameworks, Abu Dhabi has become known as a falcon economy with soaring opportunity and financial growth in record time. Join me as I explore its remarkable story and watch as the falcon takes flight. We all know the basics of business require the right product in the right place at the right time. But in looking to future-proof its falcon economy, Abu Dhabi is taking things to an entirely new level. I'm heading to meet ACX, a company committed to helping the global economy transition to a more sustainable future.
This is the university of the future. Artificial intelligence is going to be an intrinsically important part of this energy transition state. Air carbon is part of that transition. We're the marketplace, but you need all of this, the education, the willingness to drive it forward in the future.
Talk to me about the criteria that you had for ACX setting up base here. What boxes did Abu Dhabi tick for you?
One of the interesting things is probably once a decade, a new product emerges. This is carbon's decade, but no one owned carbon. And that was the key. We found somebody who wanted to own carbon, and that's what the FSRA and ADGM and at parliamentary level that the UAE recognized. The important thing was that they had a willingness to understand the asset class, a willingness to understand the technology to support it, the intent to change their ways in that they knew that they had to have a marketplace that would allow them to mitigate and take on their carbon responsibilities. What got us to Abu Dhabi was the regulator, ADGM in its broad stroke and what they've set up in Al Maria, but more importantly, the FSRA. The key was to get regulatory recognition. You'll never get the purest form of financialization unless you're regulated, unless you get the asset class recognition.
Spotting growing trends in the world of business is perhaps the easy part. Having regulatory systems in place to foster the growth, expansion and innovation of front-running companies is arguably the bigger challenge. No one knows more about this than Emmanuel Givanakis, the CEO of ADGM's Financial Services Regulatory Authority. Emmanuel, you relocated all the way from Australia to be here.
I came to Abu Dhabi because I felt it was an opportunity to create the international financial centre of the future.
How would you say your frameworks and regulations make Abu Dhabi a destination of choice for businesses?
We've always taken a very innovative and progressive approach to our regulatory framework. There's so many new developments that have happened in the recent years that we believe we've taken advantage of in some ways by building regulatory frameworks that accommodate those, in particular around digital assets, but also importantly, sustainable finance. By engagement with industry and other stakeholders, we're keeping up with the movement and curves of the finance industry. But at the same time, it needs to meet the international standards. We need to make sure that all of our innovation and progressive approaches to legislation are balanced, so we're still part of that broad international community.
An agile regulatory system will be of little use without a sustainable economy fit for future. I'm here at Yas Bay to find out what happens when innovation meets investments. The World Bank recently opened its office in Abu Dhabi. Tell me what accelerated this engagement in this particular area and why the capital?
What we hope for this office is to become a knowledge hub, a place where excellent information is being collected and disseminated using our global platforms. We see a lot of cutting-edge practices in many areas that are being set up here. In digital development, in trade, in education, in health. Also, the World Bank has recently updated our mandate to not just reduce poverty and improve shared prosperity, but do that on a livable planet.
If you look at Abu Dhabi itself in terms of their overall objective for sustainability, investment in infrastructure, you can see a lot of alignment. Our motto now is infrastructure for tomorrow. So it's not for you or for me, it's for our great-great-grandchildren, right? I was pleasantly surprised that when we met up with ADGM, they have a sustainability team. In addition to helping companies, institutions to be set up in ADGM, they're providing a lot of guidance. So therefore, anything that they do, the ESG element is well taken care of, is a clear demonstration of both Abu Dhabi and our commitment to move towards a sustainable future.
Abu Dhabi is a city not just undergoing its own transformation, but by fearlessly embracing new technologies and innovations to lead the economies of the future, it is spearheading a turning point. I feel privileged to have been on this journey to tell its story and, of course, to witness the rise of the Falcon.